Hello everyone, I'm Raul and welcome back to Realistic Drawing Lessons. Today we're working on the last finger, which is the small finger, and I will show you how to shade the skin and also how to do the details. Also I want to show you a few tips, how I sharpen my erasers and also how to sharpen my pencils. There's most important things to know if you want to do the details, same as the reference photo. As you can see, very light but also very perfect, well, shadowed or highlighted. But for this we need to know how to sharpen the pencil. I'm using nail polish to sharpen my pencil, but before to do this I'm sharpening the pencil always on a manual sharpener. As you can see guys, my manual sharpener is called Derwent manual sharpener, and of course we're working with 8B grade. All these portraits will be made by 8B grade, and look at it, how long is this, and the normal sharper is like all sharpness, sharp not more than 2 centimeters. But before to do this I need to work light the details. As you can see, I have on the nail and also the line for the fingers. I'm using also small nail polish, or you can use a small piece of sandpaper, is the same. And I want to show you how to do this, and in this way I can use my pencils as a needle. Very sharp, and how sharp is the pencil, I can do the details much easier. So just rotate the pencil on a nail polish or sandpaper. Look at that, the pencil become very sharp. Important thing to know guys, when you do this, make sure you don't breathe too hard or don't blow this on your drawing, because it's about the graphite powder. If you drop graphite powder on your drawing, it will be a different story. You need to use kneaded eraser to clean. I'm using this technique guys so I can make my pencil as a needle, very very sharp as you can see. And also I use a piece of toilet paper just to clean the top side of the pencil to make sure it's clean. Something like this. I put just into my fingers, rotate the pencil, and everything become clean and very sharp. Let's get into the lesson. And we're starting with the top side of the finger, and we're lining now. We need to do the outline. We're lining for the nail and also for the bottom side of the finger. Not too long guys to finish with the small finger, and we do a little bit part for the skin, so we need to work with the skin tone and also a few veins and details. I will show you everything if you stay with me till the end guys, so let's get into it. If you need to know something, just let me know, and you can ask me anything you like guys, and I'll come back to you as soon as possible. Now as you can see, because of the sharpening the second time of my pencil, look at that, how nice and light I can work. So remember, this is good tip, how to use a very light your pencil, even if it's about the 8B grade. Of course I'm checking always for the dark tone how is in the reference photo, and for the dark tone I'm coming with more layers. I have the outline for the nail, I just need to do the shadows. As you can see, work ingredient, I will show you also how to do the shadows. Now I need to come in for the outline of the finger. To make sure I'm going perfect shape, I'm going forward and backward with the pencil. For the first time I'm going very light. When you do the outlines of your drawing, never press from the beginning, go very light. just in case if you're not happy with the design made, you can erase much easier. As you can see, guys, you have absolutely free realistic drawing lessons, and we're working everything step by step. And also you have an art supplier presentation and introduction. Of course, how to use them as well. I have also the outline. I'm happy with the outline. We can start to add the shadows. How to add the shadows? We need to work in gradients, of course, from light to dark. Because I have already done the outline for the nail, I'm coming with number 1 blending stump, and also I can use soft makeup brush, whatever you like to use. But another thing, I just did a new commission and is already graphite on my blending stump, as you can see. I need to clean as well. For this, I'm using this small piece, is a medium and also fine, very, very thin. So look at that. I just keep the blending stump on the top, and as you can see, I just remove this part of the graphite so I can clean blending stump. Make sure always you work with clean blending stump, especially when you do the light details, like light gray or even the lines. So I just rotate blending stump, and look at that, everything. This is dust from the paper, because already you know, I think so, the blending stump is made by the papers. Again, don't blow this powder or dust on your drawing. Try to clean on other side. Become professional artist, you need to be careful of everything, all details. Same, I can use a toilet paper, or I'm using also makeup removal pad, and I just clean blending stump on this so I can have very good clean. And also, as you can see, is resharp again. So now it's very helpful for me to add rest of the details. We talk about the blend, so let's blend this small part. I'm going with small circle emotions, and I need to make sure I'm not going very, very big side, because as you can see, I need to blend only this part for the nail, which is the shadow. I'm staying on circle emotions till I'm happy with the blend. If I see a little bit graphite is going on the finger, it's not a problem, because we need to work with shadows, and also the gradient, it will cover this part of the blend. What I'm looking now is to blend and blur this side of the nail. If you're looking to learn how to draw realistic portrait, my advice is, when you shade a skin or anything like that, try to go by circle emotions. Is the best way and the closest way to draw the realistic skin. Now, as you can see, I need to add just light line, so I can make a little bit darker only on that side. Thank you very much for the question. I can't see very well the name, but I see Sylvia, Flor, I don't know. Just stay on the lesson and you will see the steps for the shadows and the blend. Now I have, as you can see, the part for the nail. We need to do the light shadows. So I'm going with small circle emotions. And because my pencil is really, really very good sharp, I can do very light. Now is most important thing to know, we need to work in gradient, because on the bottom side where the outline is darker, and slowly we're going up. As you can see, we have a big part for the highlights. This part I'm not blend with blending stone. I need to use soft maker brush or even cotton buds. Cotton buds is one of the best supplier to blend soft skin. Of course, guys, depend which paper you working your portrait. I'm working on Canson Bristol paper, 250 GSM, and is the blend and the shade is very light on the paper, very smooth. As you can see, on the top side we have highlights, so we need to respect this. We're coming with a little bit eraser, and on the bottom we have dark tone, which is about the nail. We need to make this nail also looking 3D, so we need to make round. We add another layer, which is changing the value for the graphite, but only on this part, less than halfway. And now you will see when I'm pushing this with cotton buds, becomes smooth in gradient. We're starting to add the layers for the finger, the skin tone. As you can see, on the bottom is dark tone, and slowly we need to lighten the tone. We're staying on the circular motions. Make sure you follow the reference photo, guys, for the tone. If you don't know how to select the tone for your portrait, I have a lesson on YouTube channel, how to do a palette of the colors from graphite pencil to go in close with the skin tone for the color. You can check for the video, and you can learn how to make the perfect and the closest color for the skin tone. I'm coming with another layer because I respect the color for the tone. But as you can see, I'm going also only in circular motions. You can blend the skin tone with cotton buds or blending stone or different type of brushes, whatever you like to use. It's only about the time. Slowly we need to be careful for the highlights on the top, and we do the lining on the latest part of the lesson and highlights. We need to do the shadowing first to make the shape of the finger. I'm very good, Susan. Welcome back to live drawing. Thank you very much. I have a little bit different colors of the graphite, as you can see, by blend and shade. I have more tones, so I will show you how to transform this in soft and smooth. I'm using cotton buds, and with circular motions I'm going from dark tone and pushing light the graphite, as you can see. We're going and we build also the gradient. The gradient in realistic drawing is very important, guys, because make the difference between the normal and 3D work. If you learn to work in gradients, you can draw 3D objects. We will work this finger, the last finger, by proportion. So we take a short and a small proportion and we do the outlining and the highlights. And after we're happy with the design made, we can go further. As you can see, guys, repeating the layers, I change the value of the color, become a little bit darker. Slowly, slowly now I'm coming to add a little bit shadows on the middle side of the finger. But very light, because we need to be careful for the highlights. Where we have to deal with the highlights, we don't draw to cover with the graphite or even charcoal if you draw in charcoal, because my advice is not reason to erase with eraser if you don't need to. I'll smooth again using cotton buds. As you can see, guys, even if I'm going with the cotton buds over the graphite, a few details we still have on the skin tone, because I go in circular motions, and that one helped me a lot to do the closest way to the realistic skin. If I'm just coloring this finger and I'm coming with the toilet paper for the shade, I will do only a background or just like a blanket of the graphite, which is no good. I need to looking for the details also, and you will see how easy we can add the rest part of the details if we're going like this, in this way. I'm checking for more shadows, that's for the last time. I will blend again. Don't forget to blend. The blend is very important. I'm not worried if I'm going with the graphite on this side, because as you can see, we have to deal with very dark tones, same as the jumper did. So I can blend easy without any problem on the bottom side of the finger. We need to build this part for the shadow, same as I did here, if you remember, on the last lesson, but this one is darker. Why is darker? Because this part is shadowed from the sleeve. So let's see where the shadow is. And we're going very light for the first layer, because we need to build a perfect shape. And now we need to meet with the bottom side of the finger. Depend how dark is the tone, we just repeat the layers. Of course, without pressure. I'm using number 1 blending stone. I can go on number 2 as well. It's not very small part. And I blend this with blending stone. I'm looking for darker, so I need to repeat the layers. As you can see on the reference photo, the side there is darker, so I'm coming with small circular motions and I build another layer. I'm come back again with blending stump. And you will see now, guys, after a few layers, the tone is different, which is very important to work in more tones, to have more tones, light and dark. I'm adding a little bit graphite on the rest part of the finger, but this time very light. As you can see, slowly we need to lighten the skin. That's the way to work in gradients, guys. Try to do more layers and always do from dark to light. So if you have a layer already from the beginning and if you need darker, always go to add the dark tone where you started. Now following the reference photo, I'm coming to do the shape for the shadows. On this part I'm using soft makeup brush, cotton buds. You can use blending stump, maybe should be alright on this side, but we're looking for the softer skin, so I'm going with cotton buds. Make sure if you shade the skin with circular motions, do the blend with cotton buds or blending stump on the same way. Don't change the way of blend. Let's add a few lines. make the drawing more complicated. And we're starting with the top side finger. Following the reference photo, we use the pencil by the pressure to do the same lines. Remember, use very good sharp pencil for this process. We need to draw this side very light because the details are into the highlights. Now number 1 blending stone. Number 1 because we're working with very light thin lines. Remember, we start to blend somewhere in the middle of the drawing. And we're going slowly to the top side line, each side. I'm adding a little bit graphite for more details. And for better view. As you can see, the details are following same as the rest of the fingers. We're coming to finish with this part of the details, and I will show you guys how to add the highlights using very good sharp eraser. If you want to draw realistic your portrait, sometimes it's good to go with the details on a skin, on a hand, by dotting. Very light without any pressure. Be patient when you're layering, when you add the details. As you can see, to draw realistic, you need time. Never rush your work, guys. And always follow the reference photo, which is the most important thing. I'm coming now light with blending stone, and I will blend the rest of the lines. After the blend, if you see the blending stump, it will cover the details. Just rebuild the lines. Sometimes the blending stump might cover the details. It's no problem, we can come back with the pencil. Believe it or not, guys, this is 8B grade, which is very dark tone. And look at that, how light I can work. And this is very good tip, sharp on the sandpaper. You will see how nice and easy you can add the rest of the details. As you can see, following the reference photo, we can do same as the reference photo. Just make sure you draw always everything you see. And that's why I'm here, guys, to show you and explain you guys how to use the pencils and the suppliers in the right way to achieve this level of drawing. From now I'm working with 8B grade, blending stump and eraser. I will come back with the name of the new suppliers that I do. Now, as you can see, missing the graphite, we need to do another layer, but we can do also the details before. If it's about the lines, to design the finger. It's important the pressure that you use on your pencil. Always start to blend from the middle line, not to the end of the line, especially when you blend the eyes. Now I have the design made already. I can finish with the dark tone for the shadows of the skin. To make the finger looking 3D realistic, also we need to add the perfect shadows. So I'm coming with dark tone, as you can see, it's very dark tone on the bottom. I will finish with this side of the skin. And because the highlight is coming from the left, if you see the lines, we need to add the graphite from the line to the left. Leave a little bit gap here for the highlights. When I do the shade, as you can see, I bend the pencil for better control. And this is allow me to not add the pressure at all. We don't need a pressure here. We need to work very light for the skin. If you keep the pencil normal in your hand, if you do the shade, it will be a bit harder to achieve this tone. So I always bend the pencil when I do the gradient and when I'm looking to change the tone. Also for shade. In this position, I never broke the top side of the pencil. I'm coming with blending stump. And I blend from the line to the left. Of course, I need to respect the side for the highlights. how to make this finger looking more realistic. With more details, we use eraser to add the highlights. That's the important step. Stay with me and soon we'll learn how to do the highlights. I'm pushing the graphite from dark tone into the lighter area because I need to make this finger like a 3D. I'll change the blending stone with cotton pads for the rest part of the skin, because blending stone is not same smooth like cotton pads. Or if the drawing is bigger or huge, you can use toilet paper. Depend of the size of your paper. Let's learn now how to add the highlights. And I will take Tombow Mono0 eraser. And I need to check if it's sharp. I just cut oblique and I have very good sharp eraser. Following the reference photo, we need to clean all the area where we don't need graphite. As you can see, when we draw the first finger with the ring, we touch with graphite here. Now it's time to clean it. I'm going with small circular motions and line to clean this. Something like this. As you can see, I highlighted the top side finger, which is very good. Make sure you clean the paper before to go further. First thing to do is to highlighting the top side. Of course, depend which direction is coming the highlights. But also the reference photo always show you where the highlights are. Now, if it's enough sharp, I can do also the lines. Let's start to add the lines. We're starting from the nail. I'm coming from the highlighted part inside of the graphite. Slowly, as you can see, we build this part of the highlights. Now we're starting to highlighting into the lines. Just follow the reference photo to see the position of the highlights, guys. It's not really hard job. Be inventive and upgrade your drawing skill. Something like this, guys. So that's the way to draw skin. Hand skin, guys, is not hard. Follow always the reference photo for the position of the highlights. Look at that, how easy I'm highlighting now. If I have very good sharp eraser. Don't forget, my advices are always the same. Keep your drawing clean, cover with a blank paper, and this paper can help you always to clean eraser or sharp pencils, clean blending stump, etc. Thank you very much for another lesson. Before to finish, I will add some pores on this side of the finger, and I'm going myself to finish with the hand. And we're moving further, and we do the jumper sleeve. I'm using always this Faber-Castell Perfection 7056. You can find on Amazon, and it's very good supplier to pour in the skin. Add the light white dots. When you do this, make sure you're not going with the dotting into the dark tone. There's no reason. Anyway, you will cover when you brush. This type of pouring make your drawing looking more realistic. And as you can see, close to the reference photo. I appreciate your time, your comments, guys, and see you next time with more techniques. Thank you very much for your time. Bye bye and have a nice weekend.